God, I don't want to sing intro music because I'm waiting to be able to turn off the volume. Okay. Shit. Happened again. Okay, you guys, here we are. It's the Sunday doubleheader. Maggie and I have never done this before. Two shows on a Sunday. Uh, our first show was just us sort of killing time waiting for the second show, but God, we went for an hour and we didn't even realize we'd been just nattering. In the US, we call it blabbing for an hour. So here we are, the main event. I'm going to bring on my co host, Maggie-of-England. Uh, hey, Maggie.
Hey everyone, hey, here's the hat out the picture.
Maggie. Okay, you guys.
That's cartoon hat.
And there it goes flying. What Maggie did, that hat is significant. It has to do with our brand that Cult of Zimosis has created for us.
It's brilliant. It's just brilliant.
Maggie, that was so cool. You said you had a hat like that. You weren't lying there. Okay.
No, I bought it for Pat.
Oh, yeah, that dangly thing. That is so cool. With the hat band. Okay, you guys, I'm going to bring out our special guest today. It's a repeat visit. It's Maggie and I talked before. He probably walks a fine line between being a curmudgeon and a rapscallion. He walks it beautifully. The man certainly has a gift for gab, and I think
we love him.
I think he's just delightful. He's controversial and a firebrand, and what a hoot! What a hoot, you guys! We have this wonderful eclectic lineup of guests, past guests, and Thomas certainly leads the pack in that. I'm gonna bring this guy on. Okay, Thomas, welcome to the Granny Show.
Hi,
hello,
Tom.
Robin. Hello, Maggie.
It's great to see you again.
Oh,
I think you froze again, Thomas.
Oh, heck, you guys, we went through this in the green room before the show. Thomas,
can you hear me okay, though? Can you hear the audio part?
Yeah, we can hear your audio's fine.
Yeah, your audio.
Just let it go then.
Yeah.
Just let it the fuck go. So I hope I didn't offend you by my description of the sort of fellow I think you are.
No, because it's not true. If you met me in real life, you would want to adopt me as your son. I'm so not like that. I'm so easygoing and laid back. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just a normal person. I'm just a regular Irish fella. There's nothing, intense about me on any level, really. I don't know. I'm just quite ordinary, actually. I don't. Okay, I don't like the honesty. I don't like the people. What you see is what you get. But that's not there. That would be considered out there by standards. It would just be considered like anyone else. We're kind of like a pain in the ass in that kind of way. It's just our nature. And we're friendly, and But I think in America, you don't understand that you can be annoyed at the government, annoyed at the system, annoyed at things, and it doesn't affect you inside yourself. It's like you don't carry that inside you. You're letting it out. You know what I mean? And then you go back to doing your hobbies, or walking the dog and enjoying the countryside and the flowers and the normal things. it's almost like the attachment. That's okay. I'm in pundit mode now. I'm in pundit mode now. But
Okay.
that's not how I am all the time. That'd be kind of like the way we are.
Yeah. Well, and what
But
all
at
of
the
us
same time, too, if someone's a pain in the ass, I'll tell them that. So I'm probably a bit. If I'm guilty of anything, it's because I don't take no shit. Basically,
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's yeah.
It's in the genes.
and
Yeah.
I found what I'm sorry.
I don't patronize people. I don't patronize people. I don't like them. I don't put on a persona. That's I think me. I'm just direct. I just say what I feel. And I don't set out to hurt people on purpose or anything like that. And if you are hurt by what I say, well, toughen up, buttercup. That's life.
No kidding. And what all of us do on YouTube is just merely a snapshot of the 24 hours we live off the tubes. So all you see is just a snapshot. It depends on the mood. It depends on what's been going on behind the scenes. That's what you present. Sometimes it's like taking a brain laxative to come and dump on YouTube. I get that. Other people have used it for different reasons. It's just a snapshot. So I apologize for labeling you, Thomas. And it's interesting that you mentioned that if we knew you in real life, we'd adopt you. Well, that speaks to probably your experience with old women and you're used to that. Old women adopting you. I can certainly see that. Okay, well, come over for dinner, sweetheart. Let's talk.
We're supposed to be coming over to you, Robin, from last show.
Maggie's had this plan. Go ahead.
No, what you were saying about the snapshot that people get. I found this book recently, and it was photographs of the Rolling Stones backstage during their most notorious sort of 1970s tours, when they were supposed to be this notorious band, right? And all the photographs backstage are with them being affectionate and playing with their kids. So you know what I mean? It's like there's the rock stars who are the stage persona, but that was a snap. They were just like anyone else with their kids and their families behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I always found that very interesting.
Yeah, and of course, what is billboarded, those things are what gets the clicks. That's what gets you paying for the news and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what made people money. But that was billboarded, paid for, promoted snapshots, and there were real people behind that. Real ones.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give your viewers the greatest piece of advice they'll ever hear. Be wary of professional nice men, professional nice guys, because they're anything but.
Yeah.
The one who's the professional nice man. There's a big difference between a nice man and a good person. There's a big difference. One is an actor and one is instinctual. And guys who set out to be professional, professional nice guys, usually have real darkness behind them. You've seen that so many times, so many serial killers, Ted Bundy.
Oh, and haven't we all been exposed to one degree or another? And I got to tell you, especially the ones who have the disorder of schizophrenia, I am fooled every time to this day. And I've had lots of experience with people. I pride myself on being able to nail people after their first 6 words. But give me a mentally twisted person, they fool me every goddamn time to this day. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's all kinds of interesting, spooky theories about schizophrenics, that there's actually someone else in there when
Yeah.
they're in their manic states, when they're in their condition. There's some quite disturbing interviews with psychiatrists on YouTube talking about them, comparing it to possession, and these schizophrenics having remarkable powers. Like, they would know, they'd release them from the mental hospital when they'd get better, and they were able to go to a field somewhere and find drugs that had been buried by a drug dealer, and that they had nothing to do with it. They just knew about it, as if an entity was inside them, and this entity had told them while they were in the state there's drugs buried in that field over there behind the tree. It was fun, some unbelievable stuff, quite shocking and disturbing, but at the same time too incredible. And I think that's what with schizophrenics. I think if we lived in a different, I think the schizophrenics were probably our original shamans. I think they were, because of the way we see the condition now. I think that they become pathological. We don't. We they medicate them and shock them and things like this.
Yeah,
They did it to my grandma, and they did it to my sister-in-law, electric shock treatment. Never the same again.
yeah, and isn't that interesting that the schizophrenic were labeled by that? I think there's always one in a family, maybe more than one, that shows out like that. And I think that kind of relieves people of responsibility for dealing with it, so they label them a shaman. That's only my opinion, but it's
yeah. No. There's two ways. There's two ways of looking at it, depending on the personality type. But I think what Carl Jung said, there's a lot of truth to it. That the mystic swims in the same water the psychic drowns in. I think there's a lot of truth to that.
Boy, that's
It's deep.
Yeah, Thomas, I love your brain. And speaking of your brain, I most recently watched your reformatted report, your video about Malta. That was absolutely captivating.
I've not watched it yet, but I watched your hungover one this morning.
Malta is a captivating place. It's so small and tiny, and yet it has all this stuff packed into it. And it's a unique culture, and I've been there loads of times now, quite a lot. And every time I go there, I discover something new about it. It's like a real Pandora's box of mysteries. And it's also, the people there are very nice, and the food and the drink is amazing and cheap. So it's like a good place to visit if you like all the things. Interesting. It's the history, like the amount of ancient sites are just frightening. And the islands are tiny. You're talking about, like, it would be the main island of Malta would probably be about the size of Manhattan Island. That's how big it would be, much bigger than that. And yet it's just got this 7,000 years of history packed into it.
Maybe even older than that. I was absolutely, and the catacombs, the underground thing, and the stories of people never having been found, and the echoes.
The Hypogeum at Hal Safalini. It was discovered when they were building houses around, I think it was back in the 1910s, before World War I time, and they were over there. They have cisterns in their houses that are carved out of the solid rock. The island is like basically a desert of rock, and so someone was carving out a cistern for a house in this development that was being built, and they broke through into what they thought was an underground cave and discovered this incredible place that's unbelievable. And it's okay. When I was there, to say I was mind blown would be an understatement. And I a lot of the ancient places, in particular, how they carved 5,000 years ago, and it looks beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like classical architecture. Thousands of years before the classical period. and you're down in there, and you're literally only allowed in like 8 people at a time, something like that. And at the front there's a guard, and at the back there's a guard. So you can't. You're watched all the time you're down there, and they give you these headphones to listen to your multi-language. We're told about the place, you know, that kind of a thing. These headphone things, and I told the woman I'm deaf, so I just want to look around, and so I didn't want to put the headphones on. And so I actually sneaked away from the tour group a few times and went off looking, and I was the sense of presence is there's something down there, and then at the very end of the tour, they take you to a place that's like I don't know what to call it, like the library or something like that. But it's a dock. It's a dock that you could tell that was for boats, and then it goes from the carved caves into the natural caves that are all under that island. The one time before World War II was very heavily bombed by the Germans in World War II, so there was a lot of cave collapses that happened down there. But at one time, you could walk from one end of that island to the other in vast networks of caves. And so the real inner earth stuff now. And so I was looking down there, and I could tell there was much more down there that they weren't down the public sea. It went on for, like, you could see it going to the distance where your eye couldn't see where it was turning, like really far. And it was a natural cave system. And I came away thinking that the hypogene was an entrance to the inner world. When I say the inner world, I mean like, and it's like the ornamental entrance to that world that was built as a sort of like like the way cities have gates, like in the olden days, the city would have like a city gate or a wall, and it was kind of like it would be a way of showing you're now into this kingdom or whatever like that. That's the impression I got, that the hypogeum was designed as an entrance to this inner world, to leave from this world to the inner world. Now, there was a bunch of kids went down there and on a school trip, and they reported seeing these strange large creatures, and they were vanished and never heard of ever again. The kids and the school teachers, 2 school teachers, and for weeks people could hear shouts of help coming from the caves from different parts of the island. And another thing too was an English woman went down there. She was like attached to the government there. And she went in, and she basically, the guard said, "You can go down past where I was. You're on your own." And she said when she got down about 100 meters, she saw these giants that were giant humanoid-looking people that were beckoning her to come down and visit them. And she, quite right, she ran back. But the whole sense of the place is, once you remove the tourist thing from it, I've never been. You literally program before you go in. They show you a movie about it, and it's all made by the Jesuits. The Jesuits run the whole thing. The Jesuits run the whole island actually, and Knights of St. John, and it's a very Catholic place, and militaristically Catholic, the Catholic military kind of thing, and you go down in that, and I mean, I know there was a sense that there was something else down there, not just you, the other tourists, and the guards. There was something you could feel it as strong as anything, and that's that there's a great secret that they're keeping from the world down there.
You know what struck me as you were talking, and of course I was glued to your Malta video, and hearing you talk now, the feeling you get, a great deal of power associated with it. And when I think of power, I think of riches. I think of vast riches. I wonder if that might be, could there be vaults after vaults of riches, and that's what the energy is coming from, the power of riches, it means power.
Well, it would certainly explain why everybody was obsessed with capturing that island, why the Knights of St. John defended that island unbelievably, and what the what the Germans really badly wanted it. I mean, you still see bullet holes in the building from World War II, and the Germans wanted that place really badly. It was so heavily bombed and so badly attacked by the German military that the whole island was given the Victoria Cross, which is the highest award in the British Empire for valor in battle. The whole island was given it, and that's why it's on the flag. The actual title of the country is Malta, BC, and they're at the. That's how much. That's how much. And the Knights of St. John, the Ottomans, everybody was after Romans. They all wanted that island for some reason. So yeah, you could be onto something all right there, Robin.
Isn't that interesting? You know, it's like blowing the front of a safe off. You know, you blow it off. You put explosives in it. You bomb a culture. You blow the door off a safe. I couldn't help but go there. God, it always means that to me. When there's a power struggle, it all has to do with riches.
Yeah.
And riches equal power.
You might well be onto something there. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Thomas. What a tribute. Thanks, dear.
That's going on my bucket list if I ever get out of this country again.
You know what, Maggie? Maybe we could meet up there. You know, you've been planning a trip to the U.S. for a long time. For maybe next year for my birthday, let's plan a trip and gang up at Malta. Wouldn't that be a fucking?
It's real cheap to get there from the UK and Ireland. It's not expensive at all.
Oh, I know.
Well, ever since I saw your Malta video, I looked up hotels in Malta. I really did.
I can recommend the St. Julian's Bay inside Lima. There's loads of good cheap hotels. You know what's funny though? They're still in the 1970s there. They're still in the 1970s in their hotels because everything is imported. And some of the hotels, the furnishing is still 1970s. It's like Austin Powers or something like that, because everything has to be has to be imported. But the amount of food there, they grow the most delicious tomatoes I ever tasted are there.
Okay.
You know, and the seafood, they have this kind of fried fish called lampuki, which is it's kind of like a kind of a cod, and they cut it into segments and they deep fry it with a little batter, and it's you want to talk about delicious fish? Oh my god!
Oh,
and they do amazing pizza there as well.
Oh my god!
The food is great, and it's not expensive at all, you know, and you know. I mean, the wine and the beer is cheap and everything. It's a real, once you get there. Now, it's very heavily populated. Like, one side of the island is very, very heavily populated. It looks like Hong Kong or something. But it's still good because there's lots of, it's all old Italian architecture and stuff like that. And the unique culture is a mixture of a Arabic, Italian, and quite English as well. They all speak English as well as their own and they speak Italian as well. I'll tell you something. The kind of people they are. One time I was there. I went into a coffee shop and I had a sandwich, and then I asked the lady, the waitress, "Can I have a typical Maltese dessert?" And she goes, "The only thing I have left is this hazelnut chocolate cake they kind of make."
Oh,
and
fuck.
she goes, and she brings it out to me. And I said, "Oh God, I bet that would be lovely with some ice cream. Do you have any ice cream?" And she says, "No, I have no ice cream. Don't worry. I'm sorry." Right. So she went to warm the cake up in the back for me, and then she brings it to my table with 2 scoops of ice cream on it. She went across the street to the ice cream place to get me ice cream and didn't charge me for it. You know that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, like that. You know. Lovely, you know, just that.
Man, if the U.S. is truly issuing another stimulus check, I want to book a trip. Oh, okay, so Thomas, okay, the hotels. Tell me about the hotels. Do we have amenities? Do we have Wi-Fi? Do we have little
Oh yeah,
shampoo.
yeah. That's just like
Yeah.
anywhere. Oh yeah. It's just like anywhere else in Europe. It's just the hotels just tend to be small because it's just everything's packed, you know.
Well,
But
that's
no, there's
cool.
all kinds of, you know. Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah,
every kind of range hotel from luxury down to budget, you know, and even the budget ones are still nice. I mean, that's the ones I
oh,
usually stay in, and they're fine.
I'd probably go
They're
mid-range because
fine.
I'm very old, and this would probably be the last trip of my life because I'm closer to death than I've ever been. But dang, I when you talked about the food, that convinced me. The
Yeah.
food.
All
Yeah,
the
yeah,
food
yeah.
over there, because it's all freshly grown.
Oh, the food over there. Okay,
Yeah,
anytime
sunshine, you
there's
know.
yeah, if there's good food, I am so there. Because
Yeah,
Yeah.
luxury of life.
that's actually that's one of the actual things I love most about traveling to ancient sites is to also eat the local food as well. The
Yeah.
two experiences go together really well, you know.
I
Whether you're in
I
Portugal or
know.
Sardinia or Sri Lanka, or
Well,
it's just you feel healthier for it because a lot of warm countries the food's just better because it's not been frozen and shipped.
I, yeah. Sorry about that noise. A neighbor was calling me. I hope she's not in trouble. But yeah,
Well, she
real
is now. If
life.
you come up,
I hope I don't need to
she
call
is.
her back. Well, yeah,
Only on the grannies. Sorry.
sorry.
We're the achievers.
We are such achievers, Thomas. Tom, you have these like these keywords, these key phrases, these hashtags.
Yeah.
That's so fun. So fun. I'm an achiever. Yeah, and I love that you're such a crank, and you're bold, and you're out there, and
Well,
huh?
the achiever came from like looking at social media and
Yeah.
somebody wanting a praise for taking a photograph of his dinner, or oh, I made a ham and cheese sandwich today. It was just great. Like they won the fucking Nobel Peace Prize. And I was just making a vlog one day, and I said this there's a special kind of mediocrity that thinks it's amazing on social media. They make a ham and cheese sandwich, and they think they've achieved something, and I get I'm a achiever, and that's how it started, like literally impromptu, like that. But immediately it took off. I took off, and it's become a thing now.
Oh,
And
I got that one straight away.
Yeah, it has become a thing
yeah.
now, Thomas. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's magic, isn't it? That's magic for you. You create something from nothing, and the thing was that I think people instantly got what I was trying to say, like
Yeah.
the minute I said it,
It's got a
about
brain
because
now.
we all know people that want praise for doing things that you should be doing anyway. You know what I mean? And I'm amazing because I had a shower. They really do exist, those people, and they want praise for everything. So that's what I think. So we all know them, and I think that's why people burst out laughing when they heard me say that, and it became a kind of a thing.
Yeah, because I certainly have people in my history that would apply to. I knew somebody who she cleaned the toilet, and her husband confided in me that she wants a brass band for cleaning the fucking toilet. Yeah, well, who else is going to do it?
She wanted what did she want? What did she want?
A brass band, a parade with the
Yeah,
tubas
okay, okay.
Yeah, she wanted a parade for scrubbing the toilet or washing the dishes or yeah, come on, you achievers. Yeah, pipe down. Join us in real life.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Not the screen facade. Mind you, I'm the same no matter where I go.
yeah, so you guys,
Yeah.
we've been on for an hour and a half. I
We
love
haven't.
I haven't.
you haven't been. So where
Have
have you
I?
been, Thomas?
Well, no, it's only
You've
30
been on an hour
minutes
and a half.
for me.
Oh, we
It's only
only
30
came
minutes for
on at
me.
noon. Okay, so I always say don't wait till the last minute. Okay, I'm a dumbass. Okay, so Thomas, you got to understand. Even after our morning show, sometimes I got to go in and take a nap. And so here's our second show, and so I'm looking at the time. Oh shit, we've been on. Okay, never mind. I am taking
It doesn't matter, Robin. Only on the Grannies. That's what I keep telling you.
Would you stop that shit, Maggie? Yeah, so Thomas, I started watching your latest today, sitting in your car, and you bless your heart. I told Thomas in advance that I think he's made of steel because he hasn't gotten much sleep. Uh, because he kind of had a
Well,
good time.
I got an hour after I got home from work and got on here, so I'm not too bad now. But I wasn't like really wasted. What it was, I stayed up late. I stayed up too late. I was editing that that film, and I had some beer, and I should have, and I was pacing it, but it was like 3:30 when I went to bed, and I had to be at 6. So it was, you know what I mean? I only had, I didn't sober up properly. Now I only drink beer. I don't drink any hard liquor. I can't, doesn't agree with my system. I can't even drink wine. The only I can't, I've never drank like whiskey or brand. Well, I've tried it, but it made me feel ill right away and things like that. So I can only drink beer, and decent beer as well. And so I woke up and I was still a little, well, I wouldn't say wasted, but the kind of woozy if you've been out all night and then you wake up too early. You feel like a little bit buzzy, and so yeah, it was a miracle I got through the day, and it was like it was heroic. It was heroic that I got through the day. But
It's like to get your second wind.
But ginger ale is amazing. Proper ginger ale, the stuff that's brewed properly,
the real stuff.
the real ginger ale, that has a magical power. I can't explain what it is, but it really gives you energy and everything like that when you're not ready for the day. It's definitely a medicine of some kind.
Root medicine, really, really good for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's delicious and everything, but it's like really makes you feel good. So I had like three bottles of that during the day, and it really was like medicine. I could feel the beer leaving my system and cleaning myself out. So it does work. I highly recommend ginger ale. Now, proper stuff, not that Canada Dry shite. The real thing, like this brewed. Yeah.
That and tonic water was the last thing the kids got after the Christmas, if you wanted pop.
I thought my tonic water is too strong.
It's good for you. It's got quinine in. I think it's vile.
Yeah. Wasn't it originally a malaria medicine?
Pardon?
It was originally a malaria medicine.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's what it was like. The British colonialist in India, a place like that, Africa, would drink gin and tonics because the tonic actually helped with the contraction of malaria, apparently, or something like that. So that's how the drink gin and tonic became popular. Yeah, it was a medicine.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was like that's what that entered into our world. The gin and tonic. It was like a malaria medicine.
Yeah, it kept my mum pain-free while she was in stage 4 cancer for a while. I know I'm laughing.
Oh, God love her.
Yeah.
You know what? Does it? They have poaching here in Ireland, which is it's like moonshine. It's illegal. Illegal whiskey.
I know about that too.
Very, very strong. but it's fantastic for pain on your skin. Like if you
Oh,
have
wow.
rheumatism or arthritis, and even people with mild Parkinson's, it will stop the shakes. And it's still very popular with people for a medicine, and it's illegal because it's quite dangerous if you drink too much of it. It's one of those things where when you drink it, it goes down like tea. It's not strong like whiskey or scotch or something like that. But the minute you drink it, you 1 minute you're like I'm happy, and the next minute you fall on the floor. It's the alcohol level is so high, but it tastes lovely too. It has a kind of like nice kind of like it's almost like a nice kind of earthy taste. The brown stuff that's made with bog water, but the old folks rub it on their fingers and their hands in the old days. And I
Yeah.
have a friend who had a brain issue. He had like a brain aneurysm. He's in his 70s now, and big huge Irishman, countryman. And he fell down one day, and the brain aneurysm, as bad as that was, he messed up his leg really bad. And they put him on every kind of painkillers when he got out of hospital. And he said the only thing that works is to get the potchine and rub it onto his skin. And it actually goes through into the nerves in the skin. It relaxes the pains in the legs. So, like people have always used alcohol for medicine.
Oh, yeah.
That's something. Yeah, long before pharmaceuticals, that's what they used. Like
Yeah.
I had terrible trouble with allergies this summer. You probably see me coughing in so many
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah.
The reason for that is I couldn't get my hands on propolis, which is from a beehive. It's a disinfectant that bees make to keep their hives safe.
Wow. Yeah.
So say a mouse breaks into a beehive. Well, the bees will kill the poor mouse, right? But they haven't got the strength to take its body out. So what they do is they cover the mouse's body in this thing called propolis, and that stops any kind of bacterial infection from going into the hive and make the bees sick. Very clever animals, bees. And so propolis is great for allergies, but I could not get it because the place here, the only fellow that sold it, the German chap here, had the beehives of the local. It has to be local stuff because the flowers from here. He couldn't sell it because of the Rona lockdown, because the market he's normally sold that was been shut down because of the coronavirus. So I suffered allergies all through the summer, just because I couldn't get to the market. This is kind of the bullshit way it's impacted on our. I know that's nothing compared to people waiting for cancer operations and stuff. I know that's nothing, but it's just one simple thing.
Yeah.
That the lockdown wrecked. It wrecked. As well as he wasn't getting paid.
Propolis is freely available here in the U.S. Maybe we should talk behind the scenes.
Well, it has to be local stuff for allergies. It has to be from a local beehive.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's the homeopathic.
That was my issue here. He couldn't get to the market because the market he normally sells at was closed because of social distancing rules because of the coronavirus. So I couldn't get the local propolis, and that was the problem for me. And I get it this morning and gone, bang, like a magic trick. Boom! I don't have any more allergies.
Yeah.
One small example. I know it's meaningless compared to people who are waiting for operations and stuff, of how life has been interrupted by this lockdown and this coronavirus bullshit.
Oh, yeah, and you speak out a lot about that, Thomas. And dang, bless your goddamn heart for being bold and brave and being out there. Here in the U.S., there are people who are speaking out, but not with the same words you are using. So much.
It's not just me and Ireland. Yeah, it's not just me and Ireland. I can't take credit for it because we've definitely got like a kind of an anti-lockdown kind of army here now in the in alternative media. I mean, John Waters. John Waters is one of the biggest mainstream journalists in Ireland. I grew up with him, and he wrote for the Irish Times. He was always on TV here, and he's jumped out of the mainstream, and he's been like one of the most vocal people about it. And there's David Cullen, who has the radio show Computing Forever. He's been making fantastic videos about it. So we seem to have it seems to be kind of like an Irish alt media little kind of scene around this thing, and it's just that so it's not just me here doing it. It's just that I just articulate it in my own way, because what happened was I saw this. What happened was when the lockdown first happened, I went to the first, when it was really bad, when you couldn't travel more than a kilometer and a half, and I went to the supermarket, through the police checks and everything, and saw the people in near the town near where I live, and they looked like the ghosts of themselves, and you could see there was so much pain and hurt and fear and bewilderment in a very unhappy way. I could see hurt in their eyes, and these are people who normally and it's still going on. I mean, I went past the bus station yesterday, and the teenage kids are all standing there, and these teenage kids after day shopping in town, getting on the bus to be laughing and joking. They were all standing social distance with their mask, waiting to get on the bus, silent. And it's just awful to see. They knocked the spirit out of people. It not like I always say, it tried to take the songs from people's hearts. And so that I just got home and I said, no, this is not the Ireland that I was born into. I know it's the same in other countries as well, but this is not This is not my country. This is not Ireland, and we're not like this. And so it was just really a way of me trying to give therapy to myself as to really how that started. And as a result, people all over the world tapped into it. But it was really, I've hurt of seeing people's eyes, and to see, I saw an expression in the community around here, in my neighbours' eyes, that I've never seen before in my life, that frightened me. And what I saw was the bastards behind it had finally done it. The fuckers had finally done it. All the years we've been talking about that they were going to do a global lockdown, all the years they were talking about all the things they were going to do, and the bastards finally did it. And that's why I never saw that look in the face before. I saw, at the subconscious level, the eyes being the window of the soul. They defeated humanity. That's what I saw. And I make no apologies for highlighting that.
You're spot on.
And the day I was leaving, I got on one of the last flights back into Ireland from England right before the lockdown happened, and I was making a film up in the English Lake District, but the weather got really bad, and then there was all things on the Irish news saying the country's going to be like a wall around it. So I had to rush back, and a friend brought me back to Liverpool Airport, and I flew back home on one of the last flights, and the people in Liverpool Airport had the same look in their face. What the hell is going on? That kind of thing. And I don't like seeing that look in the eyes of human beings. I don't like seeing it.
No. Well, I wanted to say something. That's all how it started. That's the only reason how it started. Yeah. Well, me and Robin started this for a similar reason. Yeah. It was back in January. I mean, I did an experiment on Wednesday, and I went into town without my mask. And I just waited for one person to say something. Nobody did. Not a word. And I went into, there was only one shop that had a sign on. Mind you, half the place is dead because people have had to shut down. They haven't got the business no more. It was a cafe. No. You've got to come in here with a mask. You're not allowed in. What's the point of that when you've got to take it off to eat and drink?
Yeah, it's not their fault. They're being bullied as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't wear the mask. I carry my asthma inhaler with me and just use that. I probably could wear the mask, but I wear I just carry it around, and I brandish it like a gun. And I've not been hassled yet, other than an airplane. There wasn't hassled, and a few shots. The kid came up to me, and politely, and I just said no. And there was one fella who did get a bit snotty, and in a hardware shop, a little small old fucker. Sorry, pardon my French. And I could hear him saying to the girl behind the counter, he says, he has no mask over there. He said it deliberately so I would hear it. And she said, well, and to her credit, the young girl said, well, some people have lung problems and they can't wear them. And she asked me politely, and I said, no, I've got a lung issue. And that was the end. That was the only time. Other than that, I've never really been. And I do when I'm going into work, just to go into it and out as a courtesy to my boss, just so you can get the truth. And then I'll take it off. And that's the only time that I don't wear. But there's people sitting at home wearing them and everything. You know, the madness of it. You know.
They're in the cars
or
with them
on the beach. They were on the beach. I saw them on the beach this morning wearing masks, walking around, walking the dog, and he's wearing on the beach, and the Atlantic Ocean, and the wind blowing, and the seagulls, and there he is walking a bleeding dog. With a mask.
I don't see the logic in it, but bless them all anyway.
I don't know. No, there's some of them. There's some of them that they've become very kind of like social policemen.
Yes.
You get a lot of that kind of thing, you know.
Yes.
You know, I was using a public toilet. I was using a public toilet yesterday, and I hear you're taking a long time in there. There's a national emergency. What? What? And I said to him, you know, it takes as long as it takes this off. And he always wait. I always wait for a SWAT team to come in next with the bus to smash the cubicle door down there. There's me sitting down in the toilet, and it's unbelievable. I was like, it's like don't you know there's a national crisis, a national emergency going on? Like,
yeah, I'll just stop for you for a second.
How does that relate to this? How does that relate to this?
Oh, that's crazy.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke. Yeah, they're social policemen. It's not just the master police you on, they're police on everything else.
Yeah. That's
my mic has been turned off for the last 10 minutes, and I've been blabbing my ass off, and nobody heard me. Okay, Thomas, you're brilliant, but I can't even remember what I said. Okay, carry on, Thomas. Continue. My mic is on.
I love that woman.
No, that was just it. I was in a public toilet I won't name the building it was in, but I was, you know, doing the thing that you do with your body when you're in a public toilet cubicle. You know, when you close the door, not the urinal one.
Yeah, well, I heard all that. I heard all that, but my comment was that
I'm in. Okay, I'm in there, right? And I'm just okay. I'm just, you know, what you do with your thoughts. And I hear,
yeah.
And a fella said on the other side, "You're in there a very long time. Don't you know there's a national emergency on?" How me using the toilet has to do with like coronavirus, I don't know, but I went home to see if there were limitations. If there were limitations on how long you could be in a public toilet for the wall.
Well, I know, and
it was just a Gestapo. You know, it was just a Gestapo, a self-made Gestapo.
Toilet Gestapo. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that gentleman should have had respect, you know, because, well, he probably has a very limited life. He should have had respect for the evacuation necessity of your defending colon. You know, where was his respect for a job you were placed great importance on?
Yeah.
It takes a lot to stun me, but that certainly did. It was the actual phrase that he used. It was like it just came out of nowhere. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he was one of these. Maybe he was one of these perverts who sniffed the bowl after people use it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa. Yeah, you're always so descriptive, Thomas. Okay, now we've been on for almost an hour. We have 10 minutes left. Thomas, what's upcoming for you? What are you going to do next?
I'm going up to visit some ancient sites in Northern Ireland next week, and do some filming. And if the weather's supposed to be good next week, so I'm looking forward to that for a couple of days.
Are you going to the giant?
So I can't go. I have been there years ago. I've got a friend that lives up there, but it's very touristy. So I don't bother with that. So I go to the kind of ones in the middle of nowhere, away from the non-touristy ones, and so I'll do some filming for that. And that's it. Work-wise. That is a film on Northern Ireland Maggie-of-England sites coming up, like the Malta one, and loads more stuff like that. I'm really enjoying making films a lot.
Well,
I love it.
Well, people
I
obviously.
love making them, the film, the editing. Yeah, go ahead, Robert. Sorry.
Well, thank you. I was waiting for you to shut the fuck up. People enjoy watching you. You're so engaging, and you're interesting to watch, and you're very informative, and we learn shit watching your stuff. So yay you. I'm so glad we're friends. You guys, I'm going to put his link in the comment section. You must go subscribe to Thomas, and he's sort of famous over there in the UK. I love having famous friends.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm famous. I'm less obscure than I was, probably.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Oprah.
Famous would be pushing it. Less obscure would be a better way of putting it.
You put it the way you want. I'm telling you what I know. But Thomas, thank you.
If I was famous, I'd have a bouncer to stand outside public toilets to chase away people that were knocking on the door while I was using it. That's real. That's the fame. That's the fame worth getting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I need your address, by the way, so I'll be inboxing you, Thomas. Nothing rude, but you are going to be the recipient of a granny brooch pin.
I think he's.
Oh, really? A brooch?
It's a pin.
Yes, the brooch.
Yeah.
Great. Well, so, like, when I'm out cross-dressing, I'll have a nice brooch.
Oi!
Oh, yeah.
And Robin and Maggie on it.
Yeah, and you know what? It's also called a lapel pin. If you go fishing, you can pin it to your fishing hat when you're out there casting for salmon or whatever. So it's very discreet. You would not be labeled as a trans for wearing it, or a mama's boy for wearing it. Pin it on your fishing hat.
I couldn't wear that with the crowd that I go fishing with. They're all head cases. They're not jobs.
Well, wind them up a bit.
I don't. Well, no. What they do is they will go drinking on a Saturday afternoon, and they'll be drinking till 6 o'clock the following morning, and then they go out with guns and fishing rods, go fishing and shooting. He wasted 20 hours drinking. And then they go out, and how they're all still alive is a miracle. But that's the kind of cases they are. I couldn't do with them anymore.
Well, you know what? Send Maggie a list of your friends, and she'll enclose that many pins in your package. Make them all wear the fucking granny pins. And then take a picture of all of them wearing.
Thank you very much, Maggie. I will treasure it and I will wear it with pride.
You can stick it on the swan on your glove.
I'll put it on my guitar strap. How cool is that?
That's brilliant.
Oh, that is so very cool. And then take a picture of it for us, would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys.
Thank you so much. It has been great fun.
It has been such great
Yep.
fun, and it's been so easy talking to you, Thomas. Thank you for coming on the Granny Show. You know, we treasure these moments with our good friends, and you are exceptional. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Robin, and thank you, Maggie, and I'll see you again some other time.
Again,
Oh, yeah.
some other time, please. Okay, I'm holding you to that. That's a promise, dear heart. Okay.
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 I'm going to enjoy the rest of Sunday. I'm going to have my dinner now.
Go have your dinner. Enjoy. Have a brew with it. A little hair of the dog, and you know.
Oh, Jesus, no drink. Don't even mention it.
Okay, well, you say that now. I had resolve too. What?
Yeah.
Take care, Thomas. Thanks again.
Okay, I'll see you, Grannies. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Bye-bye.
Oh, I love it. He's a great sport. He really is.
He is just delightful. And I don't think we had the haters in the chat. I think we scared them.
I don't care what they're doing. I was too engrossed. I really don't give a shite.
I know. What a great Sunday, Maggie. We have completed a double header. My Jesus criminy, I'm going to take a nap.
So, Mum, I would love. Magic Keats is doing a show at 3 p.m. PST.
I know. Okay, so 2 hours from now, I can take a disco nap before we show up there in the chat.
I'd love to show up there in the chat, but I ain't got no oomph or ginger ale.
Well, I know the ginger ale magical elixir, but yeah, I'll show up there because all I have to do is maybe go wash my dishes, because I have tomorrow off, and so I'll keep going. Okay, you guys, Lord, okay, real quick.
You all have a great fun later, guys. Well, I know you will. Michelle Embry's going on with Keats, so you should have a brilliant time.
Yeah. Okay, so people in the chat, we are here. Watcher, new joiner in the chat. Thank you for showing up. Brandon Young. Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks for showing up. Brian Day.
Brandon. Oh,
I know. Pragmagic Maggie's laugh makes everything okay. Keats, it does indeed. Okay. Okay, I'm scrolling down. I don't want to miss anybody. God, I'm trying not to miss anybody. K-Ride. Yeah, K-Ride, we love you. Okay, Brandon. Oh my God, Robin, I don't know what you said that about, but I'm not surprised. Okay, David. Hi, David. Good to see you, sweetheart. Still scrolling down, God, I want to end this, but I don't want to miss anybody. Amanda Pomander. So that was great. Thank you, Amanda. We always have the best goddamn time. Okay. David says he misses the recipes. You know what? I was going to do a recipe today because while we were doing the show with Thomas, I was eating this little skinny pasta. I don't know what it's called. It's the size of a pencil lid. Skinny pasta. I melted an entire pound of Parmigiano Reggiano, and I melted it in heavy cream with garlic and butter and a little bit of caramelized onion. And then I dumped the pasta in it, but then I put a layer in the casserole dish of ricotta cheese mixed with an egg, and you whip it up and you put spices. I put fennel in it. So I put that as the first layer. And then I piled on the pasta and the cream and the Parmigiano Reggiano. It made the best fucking casserole. And so I have one in the freezer.
I'm going to die for food now.
I know. And also in the pasta part of it, excuse me, I made myself choke. Anyway, I had this basil plant. You can buy these live basil plants in the produce section. So I had this failing basil plant. So I took all the last leaves off and I did that. What do you call it when you chop it really, really, really fine? Anyway, I put that in the sauce. So it's pretty fucking good. So I had that during
absolutely amazing.
So Davey, there's your recipe. Okay, before we close out, okay, Maggie and I are planning a cookbook. The time frame, the window, I'm saying maybe we can get it done in 6 months, because Maggie and I both have family recipes with stories behind them, and my kids have been bugging me for a really long time to write down my fucking recipes, and I did it. But then my computer crashed, so all those recipes are on a hard drive that I still haven't extracted. Anyway, Maggie and I are going to probably do a cookbook.
Yeah, lovely to see you, Brandon, by the way. You managed to get up, did you?
That's too fun. Okay, so who said that K-Ride hasn't heard somebody refer to it as disco nap? Well, honey, I'm old. So are you. Okay, you guys, we're finishing up. Jeez, it's okay. We love you. We love you. We love every goddamn one of you.
Yeah, we do. And I miss a lot of you too.
Be well, heal quickly. Sam Shadow and Lord Josh Allen. Okay, bye.
Bye.